Hey guys, it's towniesimbuilds here, and welcome back to my very last build of the month. Now, as you can see from the opening sequence and the title of the video, this is in fact a recreation of Casita from Disney's Encanto. Now, to be honest with you guys, this has been on my bucket list for some time in terms of Sims 4 builds, and after very recently rewatching the film, I really wanted to give it my best shot. So, without further ado, let's head on over to the world of Sulani and check out the lot. Alright guys, and here we are with a full view of Casita Madrigal. Like I mentioned, we are in fact in the world of Sulani, and we are on this pretty high hilltop next to the volcano. Now originally I did want to do this in the Jungle Adventures world, but if you guys have that pack, many of you may know that unfortunately you can't have a regular residential lot in that world. So here we are in Sulani. There is a lot of tropical foliage around, so I thought it was perfect. And here is just a close-up at the front entrance. We have the iconic Casita blue door there, and there is what seems to be a little garden area in front of the kitchen, so I did want to emulate that. And towards the side, there is the exit to the courtyard as well. Looking over here, we do have Bruno's tower, of course, which is covered in leaves and ivy crawling up, and you guys did see a little bit of Isabella's tower in the front there as well. Going around, we do have a wraparound balcony, and this is a little bit of my own creation, but there is a balcony that is in the front of the building, so I did extend that and make a family room in the back there as well. But anyways, we're going to check out the lot in different forms of lighting now. We're heading on over to the evening view now, onto the night view, back towards the morning view, and returning to the afternoon view, where we will take a look inside. So starting off our tour today is in fact the basement level, and this is pretty much my recreation or my reimagining of what Bruno's space could look like. So this was in reference to the movie. This is a reference to the scene where Mirabel does encounter Bruno, and you guys will see that there actually is a broken floor, if you will, that she almost falls through. We do find out that it is pretty shallow. And I did want to emulate that. Unfortunately, I could not put ladders there, but I did create staircases instead. But anyways, moving over, we do have Bruno's quarters. So given that he is living within the walls and he's kind of hodgepodging things from within the house, it is pretty bare bones, unfortunately. So he does have a camping cot, if you will. And then there is a little sink and toilet there as well. I also gave him a bucket to wash clothes. And over here, there is a lonely little bathtub there, right next to the ladder that will lead up to his secret space next to the kitchen. Heading up to the first floor and the main floor of the casita, there are definitely a lot of different rooms that you will recognize from the film. Starting off, we are looking at the grand entrance area, and this was a really tricky area to recreate. I had to make sure that there was enough room for Bruno's secret space, and this was pretty much a combination of different stills from the movie itself. So along the wall, there are lots of coats and hats. That was taken from the scene where Antonio is having his gift reveal celebration, and there is a built-in bookcase there on the left as well. Towards the right, again, this was heavily referenced from the film, and I believe this area was also seen within Antonio's celebration. So this is the front staircase leading to the second floor. We do have a picture of Abuela's husband, unfortunately deceased. He is there on the wall with some other artwork, and a lot of plants and other decor. And quite evidently enough, lots of candles. There were lots of candles in that area. Now, I did create a little sort of garden shed or closet. This was not really part of the film, but it just made sense with completing the build itself. Anyways, heading back to the main entrance area, we will now proceed into the very gorgeous and very iconic courtyard. So this was a lot of fun to create. I really tried to get it as close to the film as possible with a few different adjustments. So we do have the staircase leading up. I did use the holiday stuff rug to create that really interesting design in the central courtyard area. And then you will see the built-in fountain and some of the foliage on the right side as well. Over here is a look at the very intricate butterfly window. At least that is what I believe it's called, and you guys will get to see the kitchen there very shortly. Anyways, heading on over to the left, This is pretty much a large living space, and we do see a little bit of it in the film, mainly at the end when Louisa finally gets her rest. I think the donkey throws her onto a hammock. So unfortunately, we didn't have hammocks in The Sims 4, but I thought these really cool island living chairs did the trick. So I did place 2 of them there, just like the film. And then this, of course, is a very nice sitting area that is also seen throughout the movie as well. So we do have a gramophone towards the back. There's lots of chairs. There's a giant cactus that Louisa also moves, and also a fern type of plant that I believe she also moves. So yeah, pretty fun space. I did add some Jungle Adventures leaves there, or ivy kind of coming down. Again, not part of the film, but I thought it added a little bit of something else to the room. Towards the back, this room is also unfortunately not seen in the movie, but I did make this a music room. I thought this was a fairly good place to situate the piano that Louisa does in fact try to move when the 𝗧𝗛𝗡s come over. Anyways, zooming back out, we will continue on to the very back area of the first floor of Casita. Over here is a look at the main hallway area, and this little accent table is seen throughout the film. It does feature a framed image of Casita itself, along with some candles and some different plants there as well. Towards the back, I did want to include bathrooms. Unfortunately, they weren't seen in the movie, and I also didn't want to make them adjacent to any of the bedrooms because I didn't want to disrupt the actual layout of the house. So they are in fact located on the first floor, and there are 4 in total, given that, you know, this is a pretty large family. The Madrigals are quite large. So plenty of space. Each bathroom is equipped with a toilet, sink, and full bathtub. And over here is just a little nook I created. There was a little bit of empty space next to the second staircase. So I did create a little sitting area and then an area for trash and washing buckets. Over here, of course, is the staircase leading up, and this is located next to the outdoor fountain. Anyways, moving on, we will enter the kitchen area. So you guys will get to see the other side of the iconic butterfly window. And this kitchen was probably one of my favorite places to create. I definitely had to take a little bit of creative leeway here. Some shots of the kitchen weren't exactly shown in the movie, and some of the items had to be a little bit remixed or reimagined, if you will. But we do have the very large sort of Pueblo-style oven there, or fireplace. There is the central table from the movie with lots of pots and other cooking equipment. And then here, of course, is the butterfly window and the sink area. So here was a really fun place to make. There were lots of candles, lots of different small potted plants, and I do think it was fairly close to the film. Now, I will note that there is a little bit of a mudroom that I added towards the bottom, and this is an extension of the house that enters into the courtyard. I think this area is where the family eats outside, but given the limited size of the lot, I wasn't able to include an outdoor eating area. But I still think it is a fairly nice addition, especially if you are working outside and doing some farm work, and you do want to clean off before entering Casita. But anyways, moving back in, we will have a look at the full dining area. And we do see this quite a lot. This is, of course, where the family dines when the 𝗧𝗛𝗡s come over. And it is shown earlier in the film as well. So it is a pretty long table I combined using the objects from the Jungle Adventures pack. So if you guys do have mods and you can fit the whole Madrigal family, they can in fact sit here and dine as a family. I did try to create the sort of altar built-in little cabinet space there. I don't really know what to call it, but it does have the family tree there, along with some different candles and plants there as well. We do have the large hutch on the left, along with the second door to the outdoor patio space. And of course, like I mentioned, I did want to make sure that there was enough room for Bruno's secret space. As many of you guys may know, unfortunately, Bruno has been kind of shunned away from his gift and from his power, and as a result, he had to hide from his family, feeling like he's become kind of ostracized from them, if you will. So as sad as it is, he does have his table adjacent to the main dining space, so I did want to recreate that here as well. His room does have a lot of similar objects to that in the movie. He does have his large red armchair. There are a collection of different pictures on the walls as well. So again, more clutter and more details, trying to emulate that space. Heading on up to the second floor now, we will enter a lot of very interesting and fantastical bedrooms of the Madrigal family. But of course, starting us off, this is now the second floor or balcony of the courtyard area, and this was honestly a lot of fun to recreate. I did use a lot of the debug items, so you will see a lot of the hanging plants there that do line the hallways. Over here, of course, is the back stairway area, and this was a little tricky to recreate. I didn't have a lot of space to fit in Bruno's tower and also the little overlooking balcony that you guys can see there. But this was taken from the scene where Mirabel essentially begins her journey to find Bruno and learn more about the prophecy or eventually discover it herself. This, of course, is the entrance to his tower, and as you guys can see, it is very small. His tower is quite immense in the movie, but you will see more of the tower momentarily. Entering the first bedroom now is the bedroom of Julieta and her husband, Agustin. Now, this bedroom was a little tricky. I did want to make sure that the bedroom did fit her power, so I did make it very kitchen-like, if you will. So you will see a lot of warm tones here. There are lots of nice tiled kind of backsplashes from the Jungle Adventures pack, and I did even include a little reading nook. I figured it was perfect for her if she is maybe researching old recipes or writing her own there. And of course, this is just another view of the room. Thanks to the Cottage Living pack, I think it came out very homey, and it worked very well in conjunction with the colors of the Jungle Adventures pack. Over here, this is the door of Abuela, and as you guys know, her bedroom is actually on the second floor. So what you guys are seeing is just a little stairway that will lead up to her personal space. Anyways, moving on, this is the bedroom of Pepa and her husband Felix. And we do see a little tiny snippet of her bedroom in the film. I think this comes after the disastrous dinner with the 𝗧𝗛𝗏𝗏s, and her son is trying to calm her down. That is her little comfy little armchair there with the weather vane that is spinning out of control. And I did include a lot of base game clouds there as well. Now, there was this very interesting feature. It's very much like the feature seen in the dining room, and it's kind of this little nook, a little alcove. I don't really know what to call it, but it does house some decor, and I did reference that from the movie still as well. Heading on over now, we will enter the first of the children's bedrooms, and this is the bedroom of the young Antonio. As you guys know, his power is to communicate with animals, and I did want his space to feel very jungly and fun, just like the movie, so I did use a lot of the objects from the Jungle Adventures pack. Now, thanks to Cottage Living, you guys can also have different rabbits and birds come out to play with Antonio, and you guys probably did see that in one of the opening sequences. Moving on, we have the bedroom of Camilo. And unfortunately, this bedroom was not seen in the film, but I honestly had a blast with this, you guys. I was thinking of chameleons, I was thinking of kaleidoscopes, anything that is very colorful, full of change and different states. So I definitely wanted his room to reflect that. So you obviously will see a lot of mirrors. It's perfect for him to practice changing into different forms. And much like the kind of kaleidoscope of patterns of colors, even his lounge furniture is very mismatched. So I think it's very fun. I think it fits his personality. It kind of has a, I don't know, a rustic, almost mirror funhouse type of vibe, if you will. But again, I had a blast recreating or creating that space, if you will. Next to him is his sister Dolores, and unfortunately, yet again, we don't see her bedroom. But this is personally one of my favorite bedroom spaces. Now for her, obviously, she has an amazing ability to hear, and I did want to create a space that was a little bit more relaxing for her. I do think her ability, much like her mother's, could be very stressful, so this space was designed almost as a music or sound recording room, so something in that vein, but very reminiscent of her colors, and a more tranquil space for her to kind of denoise, if you will. What we're looking at is actually the entrance to Bruno's secret lair, if you will. So this is in reference to the movie. It's not a bookcase that moves, it's actually a painting, but I figured that the hidden bookcase object from the base game would do the job here. This area is just a look at the other staircase towards the front, leading up towards the wraparound balcony there as well. But spinning back around, we will enter the nursery, and obviously this is the bedroom of Mirabel, and formerly the bedroom of Antonio there as well. Now, interestingly, her room, the main door is actually blue in comparison or in contrast to the other rooms. And this, of course, is the look at the bedroom itself. So I did want to give Mirabel a slightly larger bed. I figured that this bed from Cottage Living was more keen on the style seen in the movie, even though it is a double or full-size bed. And then we have what was Antonio's space there as well. Now for the room, it was a lot of fun creating a lot of the details from the film. There is a lot of drawings and artwork on the wall, which you guys can see to the right, along with a desk for her to practice sewing and embroidery. Now as a fun note, I think there is a picture of her own dress there, so she did recreate the outfit that she does wear throughout the movie. Anyways, moving on, this is the bedroom of Isabela, full of flowers, very lush, just like it is in the film. And I did want to create this sort of elevated canopy bed. It does hang from different vines or different pieces of plants in the movie, but I thought this had a very similar quality to it, even though we are on the ground level. Now, I forgot to mention that this house was created post end of movie, so you can see a lot of the different cacti and sort of carnivorous plants, if you will, that she is growing, of course, alongside a lot of the other flowers that she also makes. You can see some of her creations also in the archway. Unfortunately, that area is not accessible, but I figured it would be a nice little extension to her personal garden. And of course, completing the second floor is the bedroom of Luisa. Now, again, unfortunately, I feel like I am a broken record here, but yet again, this room was not pictured in the film. But given her strength, given her references to Hercules, I thought this was a really cool space to transform into a sort of arena. It has sort of Greco-Roman influence, but it does combine motifs from more Mayan, Aztec, or Incan themes, if that makes any sense. So she does have punching bags, she does have a weight station with some milk jugs, but of course, she also has a really nice place to relax, given that Luisa does deserve a very hard-earned break. Finishing off our tour of Casita Madrigal today is of course the third and upper floors of the build. Now, as you guys may have remembered from earlier, I did create a full wraparound balcony leading to an upper level floor. And this is pretty much my own creation. I did want to utilize this space. And just for a little bit of something different, I made this a giant family room. So the first room is definitely filled with a lot of fun recreational activities for the family. As you guys can see, we do have a Don't Wake the Llama table, and this is probably my favorite game for my Sims to play in here. But of course, we do also have the more standard chess table towards the front there as well. Now the room is of course divided. The second half is more of a library slash study space. You guys can also see the fireplace there. It's a very similar kind to the one used in the kitchen, but I did want to include it given that this was part of the build. If you guys look at Casita, there is a chimney on the left side, so I thought it was logical to have a nice cozy sitting area right here. Here's just a final look at the space, and I even snuck in a little guitar in the corner as well. Moving over here, we have a look at Abuela's room. And this is sort of seen in the movie, but it is very dark and obscured. But of course, we have the very iconic, magical, lonely candle there, placed sort of safely on the shelf there. But anyways, here is a look at her bedroom. It was very much inspired by her color scheme. I wanted to keep it very elegant, lots of red and pink tones there. And we do have, again, a picture of her husband there as well. Now, as a little detail, given that this build is inspired by the end of Encanto and moving forward from that, I did want to create a little sitting area next to the family candle. I figured at this point, Abuela would be a lot more open to helping her family and being more passionate and more committed to helping each of her family members be the best they can be. But anyways, moving on over, Abuela is the lucky family member. She does have her own bathroom. I figured this would help her considering she's a little older, so I didn't want to have her sim go all the way down on the first floor to use those facilities. Anyways, moving on over here, we will complete our tour of Bruno's tower. And this is my recreation of the prophecy or revelation room, essentially where Mirabel discovers her own prophecy. So it is very green lit, just like the green shards of the vision itself. And again, this was very tomb-like. It was definitely very reminiscent of the film, creating a lot of the stone pillars and the different artifacts from the Jungle Adventures pack. And we do even have that large sigil there in the middle. Completing Bruno's room. Unfortunately, again, this area was not shown in the movie, but I did want to give him a more comfortable space to sleep and live. Albeit, it is, again, very small, but hopefully it does suffice. So looking at the lot specs as a whole, this is in fact a 40 by 30 lot. So it's certainly not too large, it's very easy to fit into the world of Sulani or the world of 𝗪𝗧𝗛𝗛𝗏 if you do wish to use it there. The lot type is of course set to residential, so if you guys do have the Madrigals in your game or do wish to add them in, this is definitely a great home for them to use. Now in terms of packs, we still stick with our 4-pack limit. This build obviously incorporates base game, but it also uses content from Get Together, Island Living, Cottage Living, and the Jungle Adventures pack. Now there is technically another pack which is the Holiday Celebration pack, but this of course is free, so you don't have to worry about buying it. Alright guys, and that is a wrap on Casita Madrigal from the movie Encanto. As always, if you guys are fans of the movie or have seen it, definitely let me know in the comments if you think I did Casita justice. Now, if you guys have other recommendations for other Disney films or other video games or popular shows that you'd like to see me recreate, definitely feel free to share those recommendations in the comments as well. I do have another really cool classic Disney build coming, hopefully in the next few months, so definitely stay tuned. I'm really excited to create it. And with that said, this has been 𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗏 signing off. Thank you so much for watching, guys.